If you're thinking of starting an SMMA or digital marketing agency in 2020, then web presence is super important for you. But if you're just getting started, you might be asking, well, what kind of web footprint do I need to have to really get my agency going and start getting clients from my agency website? So today we're going to talk about all the components of building a successful website, from the hosting platform to the development platform, sitemaps, wireframes, and everything else you need to know. So stay tuned, we've got a complete guide for you. All right, welcome back everybody. Please go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell if you're wanting to learn more about starting a social media marketing agency in this year. Oh, and PS, make sure to stay tuned to the end of today's video where I'll actually give you access to the wireframe that we use to build our website completely free. All you have to do is stay tuned to the end. So let's get down to some of the benefits of building a website for your agency and what it can actually do to help you get more business. The first thing is increased credibility and visibility, meaning that you're going to actually be able to start showing up in search engine results on Google, Bing, Yahoo, and things like that. Plus, the credibility side comes down to the fact that when a potential client actually goes online to look for your business, you actually have that digital business card that they can check out and see what kind of services you offer, what your customers say, and get an idea of what working with you might be like. The next thing is that it allows for 24/7 availability, meaning you can put things like a chat box on your site so that way people can ask support-related questions, or maybe they're trying to find out info about working with your agency. But it allows you to have something that's always up constantly, no matter whether it's 2 in the morning or 8 in the morning. Next is customer insights. The great thing is you can install things like the Facebook pixel or Google tags on your site so that way you can actually remarket to these people on different platforms. And we all know that remarketing to potential leads instead of trying to find cold leads is a lot easier to get those types of deals signed. The final thing is it allows you to showcase your work. Again, a lot of people want to know why they should work with you versus a competitor. So by having that website up, it allows you to show people what you've done for other clients, and not to mention what you're able to do for your own agency. So question, maybe you've been putting it off, or maybe you've just been getting enough referral traffic or referrals to your agency to keep it going and stay in business. So the question is, what's been the obstacle that's keeping you from getting your agency website going or really using it to drive more leads for your business? Leave that in the comments below. We'd love to be able to help. So now that we've established the reasons why you'll want an agency website, let's look at some of the pieces we actually need to talk about before we start building our website. The first thing is, who is your target audience, right? And this kind of can relate to either your niche, if you've decided to niche down and go with one type of business, or it can just relate to any type of business out there looking for marketing. Now that is a little bit different, right? If you go with the niche approach, you want your content on the site to focus on that niche. Whereas if you're going more broad to take on any type of client, then your content will focus towards any type of business or entrepreneur. The second thing is, what is the primary objective of your website? Your primary goal should really be driving appointments or getting people to fill out a contact form, or maybe you have a messenger on your website where they can instantly message someone at the agency. That's really going to be the best 3 ways to make sure that you're driving conversion for your site. Right? Next is, what is the unique value proposition? So basically, what makes you different from all of the other agencies that are out there? Why are you the agency that they should be working with? And you should take some time to craft out your VSP very, very strategically. Next is functionality. What types of things do you want on your website that'll make it unique and something that stands out? So for example, you could put a little messenger support bubble in the bottom right-hand corner of your website. That way people can actually click and instantly start talking with someone at your business. Pages should your website have? You have obviously your upfront pages that showcase services and resources, maybe a testimonials page, a contact page, but then you also need to look at the blog content you plan to build into your site. That blog content is actually going to help you rank locally for local searches related to digital marketing services. So my recommendation to you guys is to get about 30 to 50 pages on your website. And I know you guys are really like, holy crap, that's a lot. You're right, but when you really look at it, your base site, which includes the services, homepage, about page, contact page, should really be about 10 to 15 pages. From there, all of the other pages are blog content targeting specific keywords that people might type in to find your type of service. Want an in-depth look at how your agency can actually use the web and your website to start strategically ranking? Well, check out this video up here. It's going to help you get your agency website going as great as possible, but make sure to finish this one first. I promise there's a ton of this information that you will want to stick around for. Now, we're gonna ask some more questions because these are very important. You want to make sure that you go through all of these questions. But so when you choose a web platform, there's some other things that you want to take into consideration to make sure you get the best performance and the best ability to rank in search engines. So let's talk about those. First is ease of use. You want it to be easy to develop, but also easy to add in specific functions or specific features onto your site. And we'll talk about that platform in a minute. I promise you guys are gonna love that. But if you find a platform that's very difficult to work with, it's gonna make it difficult for you to get your agency website going properly. 2 is SEO friendly. You have to have something that's SEO friendly these days because you have to show up in search engine results. 3, you want to make sure it has the built-in features that we've been discussing throughout this entire video. 4 is the pricing and how much it's going to cost to develop and host your site on that platform each month. Next is third-party integrations for things like Zapier, or maybe you want to integrate the Facebook Pixel, Google Tag Manager. Having an integration software, or having the ability to integrate your software into a website is super important. Number 6 is a high level of customization. You want the website to be able to be a template builder, but you also sometimes will have to have some custom elements put into the site that aren't built in a function that's already pre-existing, right? Or a widget that's pre-existing. So make sure that it does have custom ability as well. And then number 7 is obviously going to be mobile friendly. If it is not a mobile friendly web development platform, then you do not need to use it. Mobile is the most important out of all of the different platforms that you could potentially use, from desktop to tablet. So make sure that the mobile functionality of your website is top notch. You will need it. Next, we're going to talk about the hosting platform. And really what you need to know is that it needs to have a high amount of uptime, meaning low downtime. So 99.9% uptime is good usually. You also want to look at things like the cost, and finally you want to look at things like performance. You want to make sure that it performs very quickly so that way your site is able to load fast, meaning it's going to help you get a higher SEO score with search engines like Google. So now that we've gone through some of the basics and the planning side, we need to go deeper into the planning with our sitemap and wireframe. So let's hop on over to my screen and check that out really quick. All right, everyone. So the next thing we're going to discuss is planning out your sitemap. Now, what a sitemap is basically the architecture of your website. Now, what you need to do is, once you get ready to build your site, you need to determine the structure of your pages, right? So basically, what is the top of level or navigation pages going to be? So home, marketing services, team, reviews, resources, service areas, and really this service areas goes in the footer. These are also including footer pages. Like photo gallery is not going to go in the main navigation. It's going to go in the footer navigation along with service areas. From here, then we're going to break down into our services, right? So we have marketing services, social media. These are sub pages under the marketing services, and you can see that denoted here. We also go into content structure. So we have our heading, like our primary heading and title. Then we have our subheadings for each page, so we know what keywords we're targeting at the subheading level. You'll want to do image requirements. Now that we have all of our images placed on our site, we're actually about to go through and start writing out alt text for all of the images on our site. So we'll go through each individual page and write out alt text to put here. The image requirements, this is something you do before you actually get your site built. We already had all of our images, so we didn't really need to write this out, but we do need to go back through and we're going to add in our alt text next. Next is your primary keyword, and basically you can see Atlanta Digital Marketing Agency, Atlanta Digital Marketing Company. Those are essentially the same keywords. They rank the same. They have the same amount of search volume. So this is the keyword that we actually have on our website for the primary page. We have our LSI keywords, which are other keywords that we want to focus on within that page, which is also super important. So within the content or the sub-content of each individual page, we've included all of these keywords. We know about what type of search volume those keywords are getting again. We know the title tag for the page. We know descriptions. We know everything that we need for our website and plan it out all in this document, so that way we know exactly what we're targeting, exactly what keywords we should be ranking for, what pages we have on our site. And anytime you make an update to your site, whether it be a structural update or a content update, you're going to want to come in and basically update your sitemap every single time, so that way you have a sitemap ready to go. Now, once you've planned the sitemap out, you understand the structure of your site, you understand what the content's going to look like. The next thing to do is actually build out the visual side of it. And this is where it comes down to building out a wireframe. And question for you guys, and I want you guys to answer this in the comments. Have you ever gone to a VA, tried to get a website built, you told them what you wanted it to be about, you didn't give them any of this stuff, and then it ended up being, the exact opposite of what you wanted your website to be? That's because you didn't give them a sitemap and a wireframe, which makes everything super easy for them to use to develop your website the right way the first time. So if you're wanting to get your website done the right way the first time, make sure you get the sitemap completed and a wireframe done. So let's talk about wireframes. Wireframes are essentially the visual side of what your website will look like. So if we go into the homepage, we can see that this is exactly what it should look like. We should have our headline, an image, our call to action here, logos for companies that we worked with, stuff like that. We have images right here. We have our, our benefits section. And what we would do is they don't actually go in and fill in the copy because you can see all of this copy is irrelevant. What we do is we actually go in and we build the copy based on what we've planned in our sitemap, right? So if our sitemap says to add a section on digital marketing here, that's the section that goes in right here, right? Why work with us section. And then some testimonials, what we do, our different services that we have listed off. So you can see we've actually went in and placed all of the services where we want them in the sitemap. Our call to action. So you can actually place your content or your copy in your sitemap if you'd like. That's an option, obviously, but you don't have to. One of the easiest ways is for you to actually take the sitemap, complete your wireframe, input the copy once you get it written, and then hand that wireframe with the copy already in it over to your web designer, because then they already know where copy needs to be placed as well. From there, you'll have your SEO manager go in and update all of the SEO for each individual page, and boom, you're pretty much ready to go. But the key, guys, is to build out different wireframes for all of the different pages that you plan to have on your site. So that way you get a visual idea of what the site should look like. You hand that over to your web developer and you should be able to get a website completed within a week. So to build wireframes, we actually like to use a site like Whimsical. You can see actually right here, we can build wireframes right on this website. It's what we really use to build all of our workflows, wireframes, anything, if we're mind mapping, anything that we're trying to build as far as a website or really just any project is concerned, we really like to use Whimsical. So guys, if you want to check that out, it will be in the description below. There's also tons of other ones like Adobe XD, Mock Plus, Just in Mind, Lucidchart. There's tons of flowchart builders and wireframe builders out there, but Whimsical is definitely our favorite. Oh, and just a quick reminder, we're going to give you access to a free wireframe, basically our wireframe, so you can use it to build out your own. Make sure you stay tuned to the end to get access to that. Now, let's talk about the web development platform and hosting platform that I've been talking about in the beginning, guys. Duda is probably our favorite, and this is going to be your favorite as well for building local service-based websites, but also for building your agency website. And it's because of the fact that the pricing is so cheap. It includes hosting, it includes an SSL certificate. It gives you the ability to build your website. Google ranks these websites really quickly because they perform so well. The SEO is so in tune with what you actually need to have on your site and what you don't. So it really is the best platform that we have found recently to develop websites on. And not to mention, the great thing is once you get, let's say you work in a specific niche like chiropractors, once you get your first website complete, you literally can just duplicate your next website, change up the design, change up the content, change up the URL structure just a little bit, the architecture, and your site's ready to go. So now you're cutting out about 70% of the cost that you would have to put into building a website because you already have a templated site built and ready to go. So you can see here, it's easy to create different pages for your website. You can add in widgets. This is really one of the coolest features right here. There's tons of different widgets that you can use: Yelp reviews, contact forms, emails, PayPal, business hours, online scheduling. You can automatically integrate multi-locations. You can automatically integrate all of these super useful tools into your website and make it build super, super fast. So if you guys would like for me to go into Duda a little bit deeper, leave me a comment below and say, hell yeah, show me Duda, or so, something saying basically you want to see more on Duda, and we can put together a video on that. And really quickly, if you want some tools to get some free photos or videos, basically Pixabay is a great website. We have Pexels, which are pretty much the same company now, but they're both great websites to use for stock photos. We also have tons of stock video platforms and other stock photo platforms. If you want access to more of those, you should probably go right below this video in the description. We have a blog article link down there. Check out our blog to see all of the tools that we recommend for website builders and website building in general. So question, have you still had trouble making your website perform? Well, have you maybe tried turning it off and then turning it back on again? I'm just kidding. But if you do want to learn more about making your website function properly and maybe what's wrong with it and how to fix it, you're definitely going to want to check this video up here that's all about that. But that is it for this video, guys. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you want access to our wireframes, everything you need is in the description below. Access to the wireframes, our blog article content, any other helpful trainings. We have a free course listed down there, my SMMA course listed down there. If you want to check out anything at all, it is all in the description. So make sure you head down there before you exit this video. But that's it for me, guys. I'm going to get out of here for now, and I hope you guys have a great one. So until the next time, Serial Entrepreneur out. Later. Ready to start living the six-figure work wherever, be your own boss lifestyle? Well, at Serial Entrepreneur Academy, we'll teach you how to use a laptop and internet to start your own social media and digital marketing agency. Get started with our free Facebook ads training. Links in the description below, guys. See you in the course. Serial Entrepreneur out.